Well, there went 4 goals in the second period. Oh my God. Hopefully Lance will show up in a second. I tried to get him the link. I'm frustrated just as much as you guys are. That was nobody showed up to play, and when you don't show up to play, you're going to get beat, and that's what happened. I'll tell you what. If you want to know where the Blues are losing this game, it's not where it's the neutral zone, right? It's absolutely the neutral zone. That's where the game is being lost. It's in the neutral zone. The Blues haven't done anything in the neutral zone, and Calgary's owning it. Hey, Lance, check and see if you got a message from Tony Ben. That's me. That might be where your link is if you're here. Sorry, guys, I'm trying to get it shared. Oh, he's here. Okay, hey. I got to get it set up so you can bring yourself into the show. I got to figure that out, man. See if I can afford it. But, oh, man, just absolutely today, right? I mean...
Well, you can see a letdown from back-to-back games. We've seen several teams beat the Blues this year who've had back-to-back games, and they showed up. There's no reason why they just – I know if you go down 4-1, 3-1, it's hard to want to play. But this is about pride, and this is about showing your goaltender that, hey, you're going to play well in front of him. Has Jordan Binnington had a great game? No. Are at least 4 of those goals probably not his fault? Yes, and maybe 5. Parayko's not had a good night. Mikkola, after the first 15 minutes of the first period, I made the mistake of saying he's had a good night, and he's been looked bad a couple times. Let players get the best of him, and there's no reason when you're that big and have that much strength in your hands and your upper body that happens. This team just, I don't know, guy, they look like a different team in front of Jordan Binnington. They don't play the same. It's the same frustrating thing we would see with Elliott and Allen.
Binnington and Allen.
Yeah, exactly the same thing. Now, people can say that's the same thing with Allen and Binnington, but no, it wasn't, because Allen pretty much only played sparingly after January 3rd, Binnington's first game that year. And people forget, Allen was one of the best backup goalies in that second half of the season.
Oh, no, he was. He did
if not for him, the Blues don't win that cup.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I agree with that completely. We're going to try and keep up with your messages, and guys, because this is when it's hard, because people want to bitch. Go on and complain, and I get it. But if you want to know where this game is being won and lost, I said it earlier, and I don't know if Lance heard me, it's a neutral zone. This game is being lost in the neutral zone right now. The Blues can't get through the neutral zone. Calgary is bottling them up. This is some really good play by Calgary. I'm not taking anything away from them. They're playing some real good, strong, powerful hockey right now.
Yeah, they're playing good, and it's not just the fact the Blues aren't playing very well is why they're up so far. You've got to give them credit. They've done what they needed to do against the Blues. They stopped the Blues from entering the offensive zone consistently. They've made the Blues make mistakes. They've pressured the Blues defense. They've forechecked. They've protected their goalie. They've not allowed any pressure. 9 dang shots, guy. You're not going to win in a peewee game 9 shots to 12 or 9-13. You're not going to win an NHL game. I'm shocked they beat Vancouver the other night with the amount of shots they had.
Look at Robert said, I got a solution. Put Benner in with Rousseau's jersey.
Yeah, maybe that'll do something with him.
No, the penalties were taken. I'm telling you what, they are not calling a fair game tonight. And I don't want to blame it on the refs, but the refs took control of this game very, very early with some of the crap they called, and they put the Blues back on their heels. And what Calgary is doing in the neutral zone and along the boards is just amazing.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Buddy, check the rest of the game. Lima, you might be right. Yeah, might be right. I don't know. These are hard games, hard games to watch. Ashley was so disgusted that her voice went away, so she decided not to come back on. If they get 15 shots total for the game, I do see that. I don't know what to say, Lance. I honestly don't know what to say. This is you know, it's one thing to have. This is a disaster game. I don't know if if this show was only on for one season. It was called Studio 60 on the Sunset Strip. Did you ever watch it? Right, about 10 years ago, it was after the West Wing. It was Aaron Sorkin's show after the West Wing, and they had a show. I actually caught it like 2 weeks after it played, but they called it the Disaster Show, and it had the big tall lady that played in the West Wing as the press secretary, and then as the chief of staff, and she was in it. And, everything was going wrong. Well, this is the disaster game, right? I mean, everything's nothing's going right for anybody. But that being said, I will not put anybody, I like Bennington. I think Bennington's a good goalie, but it's time to ride Husso because the guys don't trust him. The guys don't trust the guys back there because they don't play for him. Something's happened in the locker room. They're not playing for Bennington. That's plain and simple. I see that now. Look at Toronto. Look at this game. That's 13 goals he's given up in 2 straight games. They're not playing for him.
Well, on a well-coached team, that can't happen. You cannot, as a head coach, let your team have a favorite goalie because you need both of them to get defensive support. You need both of them to get offensive support. You, as a coach, if that's happening, it's on Berube to stop it.
Yeah, I agree.
It really is because if they don't play, I wish they could do this, but with the Players Association, the CBA and all that, I wish they could do like they do with high school kids and junior kids when they don't show up at a game. They make them skate their butts off the next day and just put them through hell the next day.
Yeah.
And that doesn't work as well with millionaires. It just doesn't. And these guys, Blues teams are known for being proud teams. This team doesn't look like their pride's been hurt by this 7-1, score right now. It looks like they're just out there going through the motions, and it doesn't hurt them. And the 7-1 score hurts, but it's the way it's gotten 7-1 and the way they look that hurts more. It looks like they don't care. Yeah,
absolutely they do. And I'm sorry, I caught this early, and I'm not going to get off this. I'm going to put your feet to the fire on this. It's neutral zone play, and it's been that way from the beginning. You've got to win that area between the blue lines. You have to win the area between the blue lines.
Yeah, and if a team knows you're going to enter that neutral zone, and if they get any defensive pressure against them, that you're going to dump and chase, that's an easy night for them. That's an easy night for them all night long if they know you're going to dump and chase 90% of the time. If they've got a goalie back there that can get the puck and get it to a defenseman or a forward moving forward, you're not going to score goals that way. And the Blues, Calgary's had pressure after pressure after pressure on Bennington and the defense. Defense has made mistake after mistake after mistake.
Well, on one of the goals, and I saw this on I'm sorry, Lance, one of the goals, this was the one where it ended up being 3-1 where they passed it in front. Just before that, the puck was just about out, and I forget who it was. I think it was Mikkola got tripped by, a hook trip. And it didn't get called.
I know which one you're talking about, yeah.
And it didn't get called, and I think it was Kachuk. Well, that keeps the puck in, and then I think that right there, I think it was 4-1 or 5-1 at that point.
Yeah,
that breaks the back, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and unlike before, if the Blues go down 3-1,
the play's been in the blue zone because they can't get it out of the neutral zone.
Yeah,
that's the thing. They can't get it out of the neutral zone.
The Calgary's defensemen are pinching in constantly, and the Blues aren't taking advantage of that. You've got defensemen pinching in. You've got to have the forwards to push them back from pinching in. You've got to put pressure on them in the neutral zone so those defensemen do not pinch in. Otherwise, if you're not putting pressure in the neutral zone, they're going to just bring it in all the time, and those defensemen are, even being up 3-1, their defensemen are still pinching in.
Hey, for everybody watching, don't forget if you're on YouTube or put your thumbs up or put a fat face or something. Let us know that you're watching and you care about the show. We really appreciate it. I had 25 watching a second ago.
Cool.
Brad Pond, John Poe, thank you so much for letting us know that you care and you like the show.
Yep.
Lance, I don't know what to expect in the third. I mean, I don't think it's going to get any more out of hand. I really don't. Calgary is already, but the only way it gets out of hand is if the Blues score. If the Blues score, then Calgary's going to go back and put it back. Golf King says, I feel sorry. Just it popped up and then I lost it. Hold on. I feel sorry for Bennington. Why shoot him? Why start him on the back-to-back?
Here's what I would have done. I think I know what he's trying to. Here's what I would have done. We were talking about last week. I would have started Bennington against Vancouver. I would have started him against Seattle, and then started Husso against Vancouver, and then. But he's had a week between games. The last game he faced was Toronto, one of the best teams in the league. Now he faces a team playing at almost a 600 clip with a week in between. Yeah, and it's. I'll tell you, as a goaltender, it's frustrating in these games. You know, you love your teammates and stuff, but sometimes when it gets to a certain point, and I've done it before, you know, if I'm down 5-1, 4-1, 6-1, and it happens to all of us, and some of it's my fault. I don't at first start blaming people, but if I see a player not saying something when a goal scored, I'll skate out of my crease, and when he comes by me, say something to him. What was that? You know, you got to support me here. And I'm sure Bennington's going to say something, and maybe he won't, but the true test of this team is not this third period. The true test of this team is the next game. In 2 days. How will they bounce back from this? In my mind, a KO in the first period. They were out of this in the first period. Yeah. How are they going to respond to this? And if I'm Craig Berube and all you Husso fans and Bennington haters and Bennington questioners, I'm going to start Bennington. Because I'm going to let this team know I'm making the decision on who's going to be in goal. No, absolutely. And I'm going to play in front of him. Absolutely. Absolutely, you start Bennington. That's right. Now, does Husso come out for the third? More than likely. Right? I do think he's going to come out for the third. If Bennington stays in, we lose 10-1. I don't think so. Here's the thing. If Husso comes in, we still lost. What does it matter? I mean, I don't see it either way. I'm not upset if they bring Husso in. I'm not upset if they let Bennington play it out. Either way, this team's not going to score 6 goals in the third period. They're just not with the way Calgary's playing and not with the way they're playing. See, this is something that I struggle with. He says, I wouldn't start Bennington. You got to play the hot hand. I don't know how hot that hand is, though. Look who he's played against. Look, I mean, other than and I'm talking recently in this last 5 games, other than Washington, and that Washington game was a complete team game, and Husso has not played solid teams. I mean, you got to go back to look at when he played game he lost against Tampa Bay, right? And then the one he played against, what do you call it? Not his fault who he plays against. You're right. It's not his fault who he plays against, but you can't sit there and say, oh, well, since he's only played these guys and that's all he got to play, well, then he's good. Well, not always. Right? And I'm getting blasted for my take here. No, here's the thing, guys. People are all over me, even after we won the cup. Bennington won us the cup. No, Bennington did not win us the cup. Bennington was part of the reason why we got to win the cup, because he was nowhere near as good in the playoffs as he was in the regular season. Wasn't the same goalie, and they still won. He came up big when they needed him to, and the Blues played awesome defensively against Boston, and they scored when they needed to score. That's why they won. You know, this team, and that's a good point, AC Generator. I mean, this team, even if Bennington plays every puck correctly, this team is still down 5-1, 6-1. Yeah, I agree. Right, I absolutely agree. He's not getting any help. Well, yeah. Here's the thing. He's sticking up for Husso. I told people after that season, You cannot say Bennington is the best Blues goalie of all time. You cannot even say he's the top Blues, one of the best, just because he won the Cup, because the Cup is a team win. I told people, let's wait and see 2 or 3 years if he's going to be a good goalie, and they lambasted me. You don't know what you're talking about. He's going to be a great goalie. Well, okay. You see what's happened.
So, I want to not.
Hey, Wes, I didn't know Wes watched your show. How you doing, Wes?
Oh, you know Wes?
Yeah, I used to buy tickets from him for concerts at Verizon Amphitheater.
Well, welcome, Wes. Team says plays harder for Husso. Team is sending a message. I don't know about that. Maybe I'm not there.
Well, here's the thing. Again, if the team is sending that message, the coach needs to make sure they stop sending that message.
Yeah, because I agree. I completely agree with that.
Yeah, both of those goalies are your goal mates. And I'll go back to Grant Fuhr and Andy Moog. The Oilers played the same, whether Andy Moog was in goal, whether Grant Fuhr was in goal, and it's the same way. The Blues with Grant Fuhr and John Casey, they played the exact same way in that year with Casey in goal or with Grant Fuhr in goal.
Yeah. Hey, Wes, sorry if I missed you at the first intermission, man, but welcome to the show, my friend.
Yeah, thanks,
welcome. Right. Remember when the team played better for Hutton and disappointed with Allen? This is the same. Now that I do see.
That's a good point.
The resemblance. I do see the resemblance here. And I agree with that. Okay. I do see the resemblance. That's not a team. You have 2 goalies. The team knows that something's off in the damn locker room. And that's a quite possibility.
That's what I was saying. Yeah. Because here's the thing. If you go into a game, I don't care if you're the New Jersey Devils and you have the trap and you got Martin Brodeur in goal, only facing 14 shots. You cannot go into that game thinking, well, if I make a mistake, Martin's going to get it. We'll be fine. You can't do that. I don't care if it's Bennington or Husso.
Hey, Jim, I'm with you. I'm not completely with you. He's actually not been right since the bubble. The year after the playoffs, he was a top 5 goalie. You go look at his numbers. He was in the top 7 or 8, I think.
Well, the team.
Something happened in the bubble. Yep, they put Villy in. Okay, guys.
The whole team wasn't right in the bubble.
Yeah, okay, guys. This is. We'll see you at the post game show. Let's see how
everybody.
bad it's going to be.
Yep.
Aloha.